Hi, everyone. I'm Crystal Lynette.
Hey, Queens. I'm Misha Allen. Thank y'all for tuning in today.
Welcome to Misha and Crystal Do Reality Reviews. Let's get it going. This episode was, this was a lot. What did you think about this last scene, Misha, that you got up here?
I okay. We just gonna get to it because I was happy. I'm not gonna lie. I was tired of Mr. Cornball.
Yes.
Camille's entertaining, but at the same time, y'all not partaking in the process. Like, this is Ready to Love. I know Camille said it's not Ready to Be Confused, but my whole thing is other seasons we saw other women being sent home because they tried to focus on one person. So that was really irritating to me, is that Cornball kept getting saved over and over and over. But it's kind of like in other seasons that wasn't okay for women. Women got sent home for that. So I was kind of like, okay, why why are we here? Why are y'all still here? Because it really don't make no sense. And the tears still don't make no sense. It did catch me off guard because I really thought it was Naeem. So when it was Cornball, it was like, wow. But at the same time, y'all already chose each other. So what's the point?
What's the point exactly? To me, I was agree. I was happy too. I feel like if you guys have already chose each other, then date date off of the air. Go somewhere then and
Mhm.
get out of this situation, because all you're doing is causing strife with other couples. All
Yes.
you're doing is messing somebody else up who really does want to be there and who really does want to try to connect with somebody else. So go home. And honestly, I kind of thought it might be Naeem as well, because
Mhm.
for the ratings, or for the actual show, she was bringing the heat. She was bringing the views. So, but that was because of all the strife and everything that she was creating. So, I honestly didn't miss it at all. Mm-mm, didn't miss it at all. Yeah.
So a lot of people, let's get into this.
Yes, let's get into this. This was specifically with the eyes. Let's get into this.
Ooh, child, yes. He, first of all, Cornelius, this was very much giving Jet Magazine Beauty of the Week. And I was just like, okay, why is he staring? Like, there's so many aspects of this photo because it's like, why is this abstinent man got his woman topless and backless, even though it's just an illusion, but you're alluding to the fact that you guys are both unclothed. I don't get. But Camille could not wait to post this photo to let y'all know they still rocking with each other. And to me, I told Crystal, I was like, this looked like it was all Cornelius is plan. Like, this whole photo shoot just has Cornelius all over it, especially when we saw that rainbow body paint picture. I just believe this was all Cornelius, but Crystal did not think.
I think this is all Camille because look at her post. I don't know if you have the post in the next scene
No.
because she posted how we can now date off air and when you know. And what did his post say? Thank you. Shout out to the photographer. Shout out to the makeup artist. Shout out to this person and that person. His post wasn't like that. His post was this is a photography ad and I am here to make money and this is I need to pay these bills. Her post was like, oh well, when you know, and when you find your person, go with that person and this, that, and the other. Her post was more professing her love to him. I think this was Camille. I think that he said, let's pay these bills. And she said, let me give a shout out to all the haters. Camille, really, I think it was her. And these eyes are actually giving me kind of devilish, or this was my plan all along.
It's giving very much the church drummer. The church, you supposed to stay away from the church drummer because he gonna try to do it to you. So you're supposed to stay away. So that's what the eyes are giving. Like, if I go to church, but I backslide sometimes, and I'm gonna get you in trouble.
I backslide all the time. Are you kidding me? And he does. This is Jet Magazine. The other one is Jet Magazine too. The one where they're facing each other it's kind of funny to me because I know something about photography. And I said, one, it looks like he's lifting her up. Two, and maybe because I'm so have her facial expressions in my head, it just looks like it's hard for her to make a soft face. If somebody says, soften your face, just relax your face, it was hard for her to do that because that's just not normal for her to do. I think it took a lot for her to do. I'm sorry. That's what I got. But I do agree with you on the Jet Magazine thing. But I think that this was Camille. He already had a photo shoot scheduled because we know he's a photographer. He had a photo shoot scheduled and she was like, well, why don't you ever let me take some photos? Why don't you ever let me in your photo shoot? Why can't I come to work with you? And so they were like, well, why don't we do, why can't it bring your girlfriend to work day or something like that? And then this is what happens. That's what I think.
So Misdemeanor Joe says, yeah, I'm confused. I think they're just milking the situation. Did y'all catch Zadia, Camille, and Shiloh on live last night? I caught a snippet and I saw them trying to explain the Brown Girl Squad and kind of talk around it. I wasn't I think that was just Zadia and Shiloh. I'm just not. You said what you said. You did what you did. You created your clique. You isolated certain people out of it. That is what it is. I will say, I did see Moomin on a live this week, and it did kind of change my perspective of her a little bit. I think that Moomin is a great girl as far as like you can tell she's really ambitious. She's like going somewhere in life. I think she even has the connections to grow her career, but I just don't think Ready to Love was for her as far as finding a match or even just getting her that push she needs in her career. I don't think the show was for her, but I did have a little bit of change of perspective for her.
So two things. I clicked on the live like really quickly and I was like, I'm not watching this. So I did not see the whole live. I do know that they had a live this weekend. And I actually agree with you with Zadi. And this is what I said when all of this happened with Walter. I said, this is not you. Like you're being influenced. And I don't like to say somebody's being influenced by somebody else, but it was clear to me. Well, it seemed to me that she was hanging out with those other two girls and it was kind of a little bit of an influence from her. I did do take a little bit of a deep dive and she does have a beautiful voice. and her career is going somewhere. So I agree with you on that totally. I do think that this show was not for her. I totally agree with you on that. This was not the platform for her, and she wanted to, um, she wanted to make a name for herself. She wanted to build a platform, and she definitely wants to find love. I don't think that this was the way to do it, though. Not for her anyway.
Right. So let's get into this. First of all, first thing I want to say is, was it me or was Shiloh looking like Rudolph the red-nosed reindeer? I was like, why is her nose so red? I don't know if she was getting over a cold, but her nose was like the tip of her nose was red. And I was like, what? What is happening? I don't know if you noticed
Now,
that, but
y'all know I be noticing stuff, and that's one I did not notice. I did not
you
notice.
have to go back and
But
watch this scene and watch her nose because it distracted me. I don't even remember half the stuff she said because I was just staring at her nose the whole time. But
I did not notice that, and I be noticing the little things. That is so funny. I do want okay, so but I do think that this is an interesting outfit for her because I was like, "What are you doing trying to compete? Like, stop it." I think this is a cute top, but I was like, don't try. I hope
hmm.
not trying to compete with, who we're gonna bring up in a little bit. I think that that's a cute top. I actually think that this is not her style, it seemed like, and she's a different type of personality. So, yeah. So let's go and get into this scene because this was very interesting to me. Because Phil's been my boy, and I'm like, oh, Phil, what are you doing? So to me, I feel like, this is interesting because I feel like I said this last week that now Sydney has turned his nose in a different direction. Like we saw when he was meeting the exes, he
Hmm.
had was it the exes? He had Shiloh, Aisha, and Tasia. It was clear. It was clear that Shiloh was the front runner. Shiloh was the one that he really was attracted to, that he really wanted, and all of that. And then Sydney comes along, and I was like, she's going to turn his head for a little bit, but he's going to come right back to Shiloh. And just looking at this whole scene, he's pulling back. It's obvious to her that he's pulling back. He is making it known that, you know, I'm my eyes and my head is being diverted some other way. And it's almost like as soon as she is fully in, then it's almost like he got scared. And now he's being
Ooh.
action is diverted to somewhere else. I just feel like and she's not the one to be like, okay, well, I'll just sit here and wait until you investigate how things are going to go with Sydney. No, I'm not going to do that. So she's noticing, and that kiss was very different than the other kiss with Sydney later,
Uh,
and she could tell that he's his attention's being diverted somewhere else. Just the whole thing, just the whole like, yeah, just the whole how he acted at the pool. He's being just. I just feel like Phil, you're messing with
this
me. You're playing.
this was triggering,
Yeah.
triggering because I've dated a man like this, and it's
Mhm.
like they love bomb you, they text you, they call you, spend hours on the phone with you, they take you out, they want to go out every single day, and they want to have all your time. And it's like they wait until they say, got her, she's hooked,
Again.
I got her in, and then they fall back. And it's a very, very toxic thing to do. I know so many people from the show speak so highly of him and all these great things, but this behavior, I do not like it because you put in the work as if you were being intentional, and now that her feelings are surpassing yours, you're pulling back. And I don't like that. It's true. It was very triggering for me because I know people want to talk him up to be this great guy. And again, we don't see everything, we don't know everything, but I see the behavior of before, how you were affectionate towards her, the way you're acting, and now she can't even get a direct answer. Now you got to make a joke for everything. And why does she need to tell you she's choosing you?
Right.
Why can't you be the one to have that conversation, have that clarity with her? So yeah,
No, I
I
do. I totally agree. It was very triggering for me too. This has absolutely happened.
Mhm.
This has happened where I wasn't totally in right away. And he put in all the effort, and then when I was in, then he goes in another direction. And absolutely, I totally get when she says at the end, when he says, "Do you think I hurt your feelings?" And she said, "Emotionally, yes." Because I was taking it slow. I was um, looking at every exit. I was making positively sure that this is the direction I wanted to go. She wasn't just falling head first. She wasn't like clamoring to get her some fill. She was doing everything that she could to make sure, and he put that effort in, and now that she's in, he's going another direction. I'm telling you, I was absolutely triggered. I saw it too. And he doesn't even want to say, "Yes, I'm interested in somebody else," until he is totally in with Sydney, until he wants to wait it out. Oh, let me see how this works out with her first before I cut Shiloh loose. And I'm mad because I really liked him.
Yeah, so it makes like you can't, you got to call a spade a spade. You got to call behavior a behavior, because every interview I see from past cast members, they talk him up. So I just feel like we got to, no, we got to call out this behavior because it's very toxic. It's a very toxic and emotionally abusive behavior, because now we almost see we almost see Moomin doing it, in the sense that I kind of feel like maybe she's had that type of treatment before, to where she's love bomb and then there's the withdrawal, because with every connection you see her like making the initiative and putting her first foot forward. Well, at least that's what we've been showed, but it's a very toxic behavior. I just, no, it's a
No,
no for me.
absolutely happened to me. What he's doing is definitely happened to me. I think it's 6 weeks. I'm pretty positive it's 6 weeks, but you don't know how much the show is
Right.
together. So it's not 1 week is 5 days to them. One episode could be 4 days, and then another could be another 4 days. But the whole process, from my understanding, it's 6 to 8 weeks.
Yeah, because even last season, I think it was Liz said there was like a week off from filming or something. So it could have been a 6 week process, but they weren't filming for a week. So things like there's kind of seems like maybe there's an on and off type of thing. Because sometimes it seems, I wonder, like, are you giving whatchamacallit cornball a necklace after 3 days? Like how, I do wonder the timeline. That would be nice if they did
Mhm.
add that, but I'm not 100% sure.
Right.
Let's get into, let's see. Was there much interaction between Phil and Shiloh shown? We get like 2 minutes of them each episode.
Yeah, we get this scene, and then I feel like the entrance, we get the when they were first at the retreat. We got some of them
Hmm.
because we didn't see anything of Phil and Sydney at the retreat at all.
Right.
Together anyway. Okay.
So I really, 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 really like them. I like their chemistry. I like them together. Dante just grew on me out of nowhere. I was like, no, three baby mamas, three kids. go sit down because I wasn't really sure of his intention on the show. Like, are you looking for baby mama number 4? Like, what are you trying to do here? So, but I'm sorry, them silk PJs
That's
got
what I was about
me.
to say.
Y'all, that
Dante out of
pull,
it. You know
that
where?
pull to the side, he got me, y'all. He got me. I know a lot of people want better for Aisha because they think her being with the man with 3 kids and 3 baby mamas, it's like they feel that she deserves better, but I like them.
Dante grew out of you from a silk robe with a blue silk robe with birds on it. That's where, and then this
It
other,
was the coconut oil too, Crystal,
okay.
and a shea of butter.
The shea butter, yes, and the shea butter, and then the portable is so funny because I really quickly stopped in on Sean's live last night, and they were like, "Where did David Copperfield a massage table?" I told on myself, and I said, "Well, these massage tables are portable. Y'all know that you can put a massage table in your back seat." And you can actually take the head of the massage table, that oval thing, that is actually removable. And he could have just brought that with him. I know a guy in LA that he was a portable or a mobile masseuse. So, and they were like, yeah, Crystal, you knew a guy. But that absolutely is is a thing. Um, but I do really like that together because he's being very intentional. I do also
Mhm.
respect the fact that he said, and we're going to get into that in a minute. He said, I do have some unfinished business with Zadia. So I want to make sure and close that chapter. But I do like them together. I love the fact that he didn't just do the massage, but he went into this scene too. And he said, I really wanted to talk to you before we left. And he's being very intentional. So yeah, I do like them. I do like them together. I do think they're just it seems genuine until it doesn't. It does seem genuine to me. So maybe he's the one that came out of nowhere. It's like, oh, okay, Dante, So
Mhm.
I do. It seems genuine. So I like them together.
Yes, even Mr. Vita Joe says even the way Aisha responds to him, I like because you saw she was about to go on a tangent in another direction, talking about Zadia and Camille, and he said, No, 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 bring it back, come back.
Yeah.
And she's like, Okay, okay. And I think that was the response he was looking from Zadia when he pulled her to the side as well. He didn't just pull Aisha to the side and try to calm her down. He went to Zadia as well, but Zadia did not receive him. Just like he went to her room when he first got to the retreat and she blew him off. So we'll get into that stuff later, but he's been very intentional with each woman.
I agree.
But
I like
I
the fact. Yeah, I agree. He's been very intentional. And he's like, no, 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 don't go there. Come back, like stay right here. It's just you and me. I just really appreciated that from him.
Mhm.
Yeah, and that's obvious. Dante, he's just a better match for her than Phil. Yeah. Oh gosh. Go ahead.
Not oh gosh.
To me, ladies, we cannot get excited. Like you've walked the National Mall before, and even if you haven't, just because a man gives you an icy, don't he is not open up a whole new world for you, a whole new world. Like stop, okay? And the icy, and then he's trying. Oh, I thought we'd walk around National Mall. He is not your your history teacher. Like I did think it was an interesting shirt though, and then I was like, okay, now he got the green shoes too. I thought that was. I said, let me see what shoes he's rocking with this shirt. But that's just because that's just your girl Crystal for you. But um, I do think that it's interesting that he's been very intentional here. I don't trust it because he still has Sydney on the back burner. So I just don't know. I was like, stop, y'all. Why does Moomin keep getting the cheap outside dates? Yes,
This reminds me of Amber from last season, where everybody's like, "How come they don't feed her on these dates? Why do they always take her on a free day?"
honestly, like a walk the National Mall is long. I've been there. Like, and then because the weird thing is the dress is pretty. I was like, that is a pretty dress. And then you walk
Yeah.
around the National Mall, like what? Everybody talks about how many restaurants and all kinds of stuff they got in DC, and he took you to something that was a photo op for the DP, for the director of photography. That's what you did. So I just I appreciate the fact that he likes talking to her. I just don't see it because he still says that he's hypersexual. He's still kissing on Sydney in the mouth, um, in these COVID streets. I just don't. And you're still say you're abstinent. So yeah, it
I
didn't.
don't know. It was, first of all, let's get into this golf ball, tennis ball, whatever he stole. Give them people back that
Oh, that's
ball.
right.
They about to coming after you for petty theft.
I forgot about the golf ball. I mentioned the icy and everything else. I forgot about the golf
And
ball.
you know, write on it with a Sharpie. I'm like, what did that even say? I can't even, what I was like, if you don't go put that back,
So,
that is a part of their business. Now they got, because it was him, and actually I think Dante stole the ball too.
well, that's
I'm
what I
like,
was about
so
to
they
say.
just missing the mini golf balls now because y'all
Well, Sabrina was in Sean's live last night, and she said, "I got a golf ball too." Like, so this is not an unusual thing. This is not a special, like just you. And two, you know that you can go get golf balls up the street, right, at Walmart. You know you can get a golf ball anywhere. So to me, I was like, now if it was one of the clubs are expensive. So I was like, okay, I forgot about the golf ball. Yes. So go ahead. Go ahead. What did you think of
Yeah,
this?
I think I agree with AW. I think he thinks he can change her mind because the way I don't know how she is in person as far as with a person she's pursuing, but she seems, the way they present her, sometimes she seems easily influenced by, like, she seems like he could talk her out of it, and he seems very good with his words. You know, he was talking Aisha down, from the bottom to the top, and then we just don't see them anymore. We don't get an explanation, a reason, or nothing. So that's a little weird, a little red flaggish to me about Frank. I do like him towards the end of the episode, but as far as him for Moomin, I do sense hesitation. Like, I know Moomin wants to park with Frank because Walter and her, because she didn't like his energy. I don't know. But I just don't, I just don't see Frank being as intentional with her as far as compared to Sydney. I think Sydney is his top. I think because of the sexual physical attraction, every time she walks in a room, he's like, whoa. Oh, look, like he's like you don't get that same vibe when he sees Moomin. When he sees Moomin, it's like, oh, hey girl. It's more of like, I don't want to say homegirl, like it's more of a homie type of, I might hit from time to time type of thing, but I don't I don't see it like I do with Sydney. Even if you see the body language, when him and Sydney are next to each other, his arms wrapped around her leg, there's like more affection that we see. But with him and Moomin, it just seems, I don't know. I
No,
don't
I
see it.
agree. I agree. I don't see it at all with Moomin. And I agree what we said earlier about her match is not there. She's just not
Right.
This is not the platform for her to find a match. Z saying that she's dehydrated. I think that's funny. I don't understand that. But explain yourself, Z. But
No,
Moomin
she does give like a
hydrated.
pick me,
You mean
like
thirsty?
she's going after the men. Yes, she means thirsty. But I To me, she just seems like everyone she's around, she kind of conforms to, in a sense. So
Mm.
I don't.
Oh,
Well,
that's
Celery has a good point. You
yeah,
can't go stroking Moomin's leg. That's
yeah,
true.
that's very
But
true. She ain't gonna go for that. She's not gonna go for that. Mm,
mhm.
I would agree with that. And it's almost like what did I feel like he said that too, like he want to be a better man. He wants to. I feel like that might be it. He gets that. Oh, I gotta straighten up my back when I talk to Moomin. Like he's really, this walk on the National Mall is just wow.
No, he.
That's Kirby. All right, let's go. Let's move on.
Let me see. There we. When they
Okay.
looked at, listen, they look good here. I don't.
Now this is a walk.
When they looked at each other, I was like, okay, it's
Yeah.
giving very much like a
Okay.
billboard
Yeah.
ad,
You got
but
this. Go back to the last picture. Go back to the last picture and compare these two. There's no competition. It's not a competition, but there's no comparison. Like, look at that and look at that. I mean,
Sabrina is a model though. She can make
yeah, she's a
anything look
model, she's a
good.
designer. And they didn't even, she said that they did not plan their outfits. Like, I don't know. I feel like Walter, he thinks that too. He's like, this woman, she's trying to make me be a better man. You know what I'm saying? I
Mhm.
do have to say that I am tired of him bringing it up about the stripping. To me, I don't think, listen, he used to be a hustler himself. He used to be out in them streets. And she said at 18, like I didn't have family and as something I needed to do. She said gentlemen's club. I think that that's what you said last time. It was probably a gentlemen's club type of place.
Mhm.
Found herself going in that direction. And to me, also, I don't think that it's something that he needed to bring up in the deliberation. He did not need to bring that up in the
Very true.
round. He could have said, there are some things that I'm not sure about, but right now she's my strongest connection and I still want to see where this goes. He did not have to tell the other guys that. So I like them at the dinner table. Um, her saying, "No, I want you close to me." He said, "I feel like I'm too far away from you." And she said, "You are too far away from me." And then they're sitting next to each other and I want to smell you. I just like that interaction that I just I like them. I like them together. Um yeah, and it's almost like if he keeps bringing this up, he's using it as an excuse to to either break up with her or use it as an excuse not to see where the relationship goes. Because I just don't think it's not a factor. At 18, she did it for 10 years, she said, right? 18 to 28, the girl's 45.
This it kind of goes back to the point I made last week though about the stripper mindset, and I think he can't get over that because Walter looks like he done been in a couple of strip clubs like a frequent customer. So even when he was saying, "Did I see her before? Did I see her?" Because I think he's been maybe in relationships with strippers before, or he just knows how like some strippers mentality, like they're just stuck in that club mindset and trying to pull a customer in, trying to get the most money they can. So I think he's holding on to that versus really looking at the person that Sabrina is. So I think that's why he keeps saying that's a red flag. I think it speaks more to him and what
The
he's
series.
been through versus Sabrina.
Uh,
But Sabrina did mention the phone call or phone conversation, like he doesn't reach out to her, she hardly hears from him, so that is a red flag to me. So I don't think he's really that serious about her. Even when they're sitting there at the restaurant, she seems super geeked and excited. She kept saying over and over, "I'm so like happy to be here with you one on one," and he's just like yeah, like I wasn't getting much from him. So I just feel like maybe he just don't know what he wants. I don't really know what he was trying to do on the show. Maybe he's distracted. Maybe somebody else off of the show got his attention. But I don't think he's really all the way there with Sabrina.
I agree with you that, when Serena said, I'm not sure, it feels like he's playing I'm second choice. The reason why she should feel that way is because he's not doing the reaching out, he's not calling her, he's not following up and really being intentional about getting these dates and really wanting to date her and see where these goes, not because of the movement, not because of the movement situation, but because he needs to be intentional about dating her and really building on a relationship. Yeah, I agree with that. Yeah.
That part, because even when he said Sabrina made it easy because of how Moomin was acting, and I'm like, that's not really a reason to say just end this journey with Sabrina. Like, do you really see a future with her?
Right.
So yes,
Mm.
let's see. Yeah, if Sydney, it's just too much. I don't know with
So,
her. She's
and
just so affectionate and kissing on I know it's only been two guys at this point that we've seen, but it just seemed like that's what she leads with. And what about, I want to kind of go to Naeem when he was in deliberation. He said Sydney's voice is annoying, so I want to put her in the bottom.
it kind of, I hear what he's saying on that. I actually, I gotta, I gotta agree with him on that. Hey, high vibes. Yes, and Sydney getting these dresses from Rainbow really drives me nuts. And then you can see the you can see the strapless bra underneath. I was like, Sydney, come on. And then yeah, they
It
nobody.
looks very much like a bathing suit or something. I don't know. I
I
don't.
don't know. I don't know. So what was interesting about this date was the fact that he did open up about his mother. And I don't know that we didn't see that he opened up about his mother and having children with Shiloh. So I do see that he is opening up to her where he's not opening up to Shiloh. So I did take notice of that, excuse me. But the obvious affection so quickly and the fact that he kissed her, then he's wanting to kiss her hand, like he really wanted to get in there. He wanted to move to the bedroom. Um, but that's what she gives off. I'm sorry, that is what she gives off. So I don't know how they've gotten this close so fast, and he's felt like he wants to open up. Honestly, they're just all fun. She's just it's all fun. Her voice is annoying. Yes. Yes, it is Kirby. So I just don't. Mm. Go ahead, Nisha. I maybe I'll think of something.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know because even the whole mom story. It's okay. Like if y'all are just coming in, we had this discussion before as far as with him and Shiloh, and we feel like it's triggering because he's kind of love bombing her and then pulling back once he sees that Shiloh's hooked in. So the fact that Sydney says like let's let's like have a deeper conversation. Let's really get to know each other and let's stop having kind of these surface level conversations. And he brings up his mom and having children. And I was just like, I don't know. Now I'm kind of side eyeing Phil because of how he's treating Shiloh. Now I'm looking at this like, what was the point of you saying that? And more specifically the children. So now is Sydney supposed to jump on you and get pregnant? Like why I don't understand why that I understand he lost his mother. That's a sad thing. I get that, but relating it to having children, and she even asked, "Well, how long ago did your mom pass?" And he's like, 4 years. And I'm like, yeah, Phil, you can't it's like you can't hold on to you need to have kids now because your mother passed away. So having kids now really does I don't know. It's just maybe I'm just like a little tainted now with because of what he's doing to Shiloh, but I just saw it like is what are you really trying to accomplish here by telling Sydney that?
I agree. I think what are you trying to do? And I am very much triggered by how he's treating Shiloh just as soon as Sydney comes along. Just so a new shiny object comes along. So now the person that you've been courting,
Right.
because I'm not going to call Shiloh an old object because you've only known her for about less than what a month, and now Sydney comes along, and now you want to play with the new object. I'm like, come on, Phil. I just and again, I'm mad because I really liked Phil. I really like him,
Mhm.
and to me, it's obvious that he's pulling back because of Sydney, because she's showing this interest, now this new shiny object, and now he wants to get with Sydney. And maybe it is just for sex, and maybe it is for but because it is just for sex, now you're hurting Shiloh's feelings. Like, come on, do better. And I'm really frustrated and annoyed. So yeah, so she says, all you have to do is open up. All you have to do is, talk to me. All you have to do is, let's move it to a new direction. And then he
But
starts,
did he open up though? That's my question because he talked about his mother. He still didn't technically talk about himself, you know? So I think because it's about, I don't know, it's just, I'm looking at him side eye. I'm looking at this kid side eye. I want to know in the chat, do y'all kiss on the first date? Because, well, this isn't their first date. Well, it kind of is. This is their first sit down date because they had the little gym
Sydney
date.
called Sydney called the gym date the first date. She said, "Yeah, we had to," and that's another thing. She was like, "Oh, our first date was so magnetic," or whatever she said. "Oh, I had such an amazing time." You did not. It was at the gym, sis. What are you doing? What are you talking about? Yeah, that she called that her first date. So, mm-mm.
Because I thought it was too soon. I didn't think, from what we've seen, I didn't think the conversation was that deep or that the connection was that strong to be slobbing each other down. But yeah, it wasn't for me. This scene was not for me because I was just like, huh?
So Jonesy girl wants to know, what are our thoughts about Phil versus Frank for Sydney? I think that Sydney and Frank should ride off into the proverbial sunset. Sydney
Yeah,
and Phil should have stuck with Shiloh. That's what I think. But yeah,
true.
that's what I think. I think it's obvious. And that's another thing. Sydney was like, I love Frank. Frank's bae. And now Phil's is turning your nose up. And she's when she says that Frank and I just have this automatic magnetic connection. Do you really? Do you?
I don't think it's that strong because you would have stuck with him, but you still kind of went off on the side trying to get dates with Phil. So unless that's production,
I
but
do agree
mhm.
about the mom passing though. Like sometimes when certain things motivate you to do other things. Now I do hear what you're saying, that I do hear what people in the chat are saying, that that's still in the back of his mind.
Mhm.
I just don't know why he said that specific story to Sydney. I don't know where that
Right.
came from. I do agree that having children and building his legacy is now probably more of the forefront in his mind than it would be if she hadn't passed. I agree about that. I just didn't like, where did that story come from? And has he told that same story to Shiloh? That's what I think. That's what I'm wondering.
I think he told Shiloh that the first day. I think Shiloh, it's like, is that something he leads with to even more emotionally manipulate these women? Because at this point, I think we can just say Shiloh is being emotionally manipulated. and abused because he's love bombing her and thinking he has all these intentions with her, and then he's pulling back. So who's to say he's not doing any sort of the same toxic behaviors with Sydney, and leading with his mother dying, and it's just triggering at this point.
It is. I agree with you. I agree. Girl.
Let's see what is next.
This one?
Okay, first, where do we even begin? Because I don't understand because sometimes it seems like something is wrong with Zadia's comprehension, or because even some of the responses in the Aisha argument and different things in the last deliberation, like, y'all not gonna come for Naeem's character. No one is talking about his character. We said he was dry. Like, what do you? So, here she wanted Dante to tell her about the massage with Aisha before the deliberation, when they clearly, it didn't even seem like they were speaking to each other. She was with Naeem, he was focused on Aisha. That's what it seemed like. And in this clip, it seemed very much so. She was pissed that Dante is choosing a girl that she doesn't like, that she has a beef with. That's all I got from it. You're mad. He's focusing on this other girl. I do not for 1 minute ever think that Dante was number one and Naeem was number two. Like, that doesn't even make sense to me. And I really, really felt like Naeem was her number one, and then she was upset because he's focusing now on Aisha. But she said her 2 cents. She's mad because he didn't communicate or whatnot. Okay, she walks away. We see her on a phone call. Is she talking to production? Is she talking to Camille? I don't know. But whoever she was talking to clearly egged her on and told her to go back over there and tell him how you really feel. But you already did that. So there was really no need for her to go back. But to go back and then poke him in the nose a couple times, like, uh-oh.
Uh-oh. What happened?
I don't know. I was looking at Jada's comment. She said an echo, but I don't know. I don't know. But where was I? Yeah. So the poking in the nose was uncalled for. Her whole attitude to me was uncalled for. I know people always go for editing and what's happening behind the scenes, and I'm just like, I don't see it. Maybe we'll have to wait till the reunion, but I don't see any type of way to make sense of it being justifiable for her to have that tone with him and a beginning in his face. So
I don't hear any feedback. Do you hear feedback? Because Jada said you hear feedback as well. I don't hear anything. I'm in here by myself. So let me know. Okay, so I'm gonna start. Zadia, you are out of pocket, way out of pocket. So he was paying you respect by saying I have unfinished business with her, and he wanted to actually sit down with her. Two things. He said, I'm not going to keep knocking on the door and you not answering, right? That's when she didn't answer the door. During this retreat, he knocks on her door and said, hey, where is everybody at? Like he came to speak to her and she was like, oh, everybody's on the other side. And he kind of got shooed away. Now let me go to what she said about I didn't feel protected. You didn't protect me. Protect you how? By telling you that I gave somebody else a massage? That's not your business. That's one. Two, when I after the fight, after the argument at the dinner table, excuse me, this man came up to you and said, stop poking the bear. Every time she was like, well, it doesn't make any sense what she was saying. It doesn't matter if it doesn't make any sense. It wasn't okay for you to keep arguing with her. And if somebody's not making any sense, don't argue with her. She was like, okay, coach. Okay, fine, coach. And she didn't. So basically, she was saying, I don't want to hear it from you. Is telling me that he's made his decision. He's picked somebody else. So I don't want to deal with him. And so basically, he put on his silk robe with the birds on it and he went and gave somebody else a massage. That's what happens. That's what happened. You were in your feelings and you mad because you don't really like Aisha, and even if you guys like each other off camera, it really gave the impression that you and Aisha were you felt like Aisha was competition and you did not like that. You don't like taking rejection. You don't like being second fiddle. So now let me get to this scene here. Sis, you left. The walk back makes it intentional. You intentionally got your shoes, left, went to the elevator, right? And then I don't know if the person you called, if that was Camille and put the battery in your back. I actually kind of think you already had a battery in your back and you walked off. You didn't know what you wanted to say to him. Then you walked off and you said, okay, now I got it in my head. Sometimes it could give me a minute and I got the words. So now you got words to say and you come back and you put your whole finger in this man's face, poking him in the nose, basically towering over him. We could barely see him. That man has a big bald head. We could barely see him from all your hair because you were all over him, in his face, poking him in the nose. He said to you, you made your point. That's it. And then he sat there and ate his vegan risotto. To me, the walk back makes it intentional. And I'm not going to call you aggressive, but you were being aggressive in this instance. I think that she did probably call Camille, or she called somebody, and to give her a little bit of strength, give her a little bit of courage, and then she goes back. So now the next day, and this is, I don't know if we're going to get into this, but Naeem saying, oh, well, that's not a problem to me because that's not the energy she gives me. That to me is crazy. Because I'm like,
I don't know what Zadia or Camille is putting in either one of them.
I don't know what she but you sat right across next to the other one. You sat right across from her during this argument, next to Cornelius, next to the other one, and you don't think that that's something that's a red flag. But you didn't protect me. I go into deliberation finding out you giving other women massages. Listen, he probably would have given you a massage if he would have worn his silk.
Right, if you would have said hello.
You would have just given him some act right. You would have gotten a massage, but no. The whole thing was and the sad thing is I don't know that she felt like she should apologize. It didn't seem to me like she felt apologetic, like I did anything wrong. I didn't get that impression. She did not care. She did not think that she did anything wrong because she said that she gave him the old mama, the country mama talk with the poking him in the nose and doing all of this. No, this is a man. And this is another thing, y'all. And this is what I was saying last night. If he would have either swatted her hand away, if he would have done anything like move your hand, if he would have stood up, anything, he probably would have been. He could have been in handcuffs. And we got to understand that we were talking last week. Did he mush her? Did she mush his face? Basically, to me, that's comparable to mushing his face. And you don't know how somebody else is triggered. No. And I had this question. People in the chat, answer this question for me. Because would she would have done that if that was a woman? Because to me, I will have a visceral reaction. I would have been like, I would have pushed her. I would have been like, get out of my face. So I am asking y'all, she would have done that if that was Aisha? That's my question. Go, Misha.
No, because even when Aisha walked away, that's when she started yelling out names and stuff. Like, Yeah, you knew not to do that when Aisha was sitting right there.
Mhm.
So yeah, I don't. She knew, first of all, Dante's demeanor never changed throughout this whole conversation. So that's why she let her ego take over, because there's certain people, they feel strength around what they like. She even said, and when she was sitting down with Phil, that Dante was a coward. So
That's right. She didn't call him a coward.
he didn't buck up at her or get back in her face, then like she feels like she has more power over him, or because he wasn't, if he would have escalated, if he would have shown that same anger, I don't think she would have did that. It's almost like she was trying to get a reaction out of him by doing the nose thing or bending over and getting in his face. And the fact that he still stayed seated and he was ordering his food, I think that really kind of irritated her. So I feel like she did it to get a reaction.
I agree. I think that she did it to get a reaction out of him. She wanted him to react to the situation. She wanted something. Yeah, something's going on. Your sound is going out, Misha. That's why I was like this. She wanted him to react, and then okay, so you're angry and you say, "Oh, have fun with Aisha," when her long talks about nothing. So you wanted to throw a dig at another woman because you mad because you're feeling rejected. That's what I don't agree with that, but people do that in um to be combative and as a reaction. But leave it there. You left. You walked out and left and hit the elevator and go. But then you want to come back and do worse. And I'm sorry, but I saw that waiter waiting. That waiter was back there like, I don't know what's happening right now, but I got his vegan risotto. And that waiter was like, oh gosh. And they knew the film crew was there. I mean, honestly, thank God for that film crew because that says one, if he would have reacted, he could have been in handcuffs. We know that. This just to me, Zadi was way out of pocket and she shouldn't have done that. And the sad thing is she didn't even apologize. She recognized that she did it, but she didn't apologize for doing it. And yeah.
Someone in the comments said that she apologized on the live, but I'm like, how much easier is it to apologize after the clip comes out or after you know it's going to come out? Because I'm pretty sure there was some time between this scene and her meet up with Phil. So
Right.
for her to go to the meetup with Phil and calling him a coward and talking down on him, I don't know. It's
Yeah,
no, I
I
just
mean,
can't.
he apologized on the live the other night. This thing has been over for what, 3, 4 weeks now. At this point,
Mhm.
to me, you apologize now, now that everybody's seen it. The time you went out with Phil, that was like a day or two later. You could have apologized then, and you
Mhm.
did. Um, yeah, she said, "Have fun with Aisha," in her long talks about nothing. She called,
What was the point of that? That's what tells you it was about Aisha, because there was no reason to mention her name.
no
There was
reason.
no reason. So yeah, you can't tell me. You can't tell me you don't have anything against her or you don't feel threatened by her in any way, because it was clear. It was clear. Let's get into this man, because I did not like him this whole season, but he sat here and he let it rip. He brought a lot of light to the Brown Girl Squad, and the he was he the one that asked Naeem like, so that's okay. Like you can see him
Yeah,
getting heated. Like
he
that's
kept.
okay. You're listening to the fact that the girl you're interested in was in another man's face touching his nose. Well, that's not me. That doesn't have it. I was like, what kind of voodoo did they put on these men? Because him and Cornball is just under the spell. It's just so cliquish. Like that's what's so annoying. Like Camille, Zadia, Naeem, cornball. It just seems like so high school and cliquish, because how you gonna sit there and just like I don't know. I don't know.
Oh,
It's
I agree with you. He did step up and he said to Naeem, that's not okay. He was like, yeah, just because, but she her actions at the retreat and then her actions and I actually feel like Dante like downplayed it. To me,
yeah.
I don't know if that was editing, but it just sounds like you just said like one little word about it. I was like, dude, you need to come in and say Zadia was out of pocket. She got in my face. She poked me in the nose. She towered over me. All of the things. I feel like he downplayed it, and Frank was like, "That's not okay." She and this Brown Girls crew. Let's talk about this for a minute. To me, a lot of people are saying, well, that's just a connection. That's just for us to have a good time. It didn't mean anything. It doesn't matter what you think. It doesn't matter your intentions, because the truth is, if that was Sydney or Sabrina naming their crew, the light skinned girl crew or something like that, everybody would be all up in arms. It would not be okay. So why
Mhm.
have to think of it like that? No, and Phil's right. Even if and who was defending it? Was it? I don't remember. I don't know that was Naeem defending the Brown Girl crew, Brown Girl Squad. I don't remember, but he was, and
He
somebody,
basically was. He's
yeah,
saying he's in cahoots.
mm-hmm,
What they did to y'all, it was not done to me, so it don't matter. And
right,
I'm like, but she's kind of showing you how she will act. Like, okay, I get it. Right now, you're in the early process of dating. Maybe you haven't done nothing to piss Zadia off, but they're basically telling you, if you piss her off, this is the reaction you're going to get. And that's bound to happen in any relationship. So for Naeem to just sit there like, well, it doesn't apply to me, it will. If you continue to pursue her, it will apply to you, because at some point you're going to piss her off. At some point you're going to get on her nerves and you're going to see that reaction. And then just
and
maybe
then
when that happens, then you'll say, okay, it does apply to me. So
right, because maybe because he is too quiet, she's not gonna some there's gonna be something that she's not going to like, and you're gonna see that reaction out of her. And this is something, and I also want to bring this up as well. The guys previous to this have been saying stuff to Naeem in other deliberations about there's some red flags there. I feel like this is not the
right.
first time.
Frank said it the last, he didn't elaborate, or at least it wasn't shown if he did, but he did bring her up before, talking about her attitude and how she's not the real her, or something like whatever Naeem is seeing is not the real her. So there might be other incidents that happen that we don't know about.
Yeah, that's not been shown. I agree. I think that this is the second time that they've talked about her in deliberation. Then um we've also seen fights and arguments and everything. So there's just something more that's been happening that we don't know about. Go ahead. Whew.
Not the sigh. Let's get moving. Looks so pretty here. I think this is the prettiest she's ever looked on this season.
She looked very pretty. She looked very pretty when she was walking the National Mall for Ices
Yes.
too. Yeah. So please, y'all, just
But
don't.
it was like you saw her get worried though, because she thought she was going home. And I'm like, girl, do not be worried about a thing, because your match is not here.
Not there. And she was like, now I'm upset because with this is the thing. She was still trying to drag Walter. She was like, oh no, I'm coming in here to tell Walter we're done. It's done. I don't care who he wants to talk to. We're done, 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 done. I'm like, sweetheart, that's not what they've already had the deliberation. So stop. Now I'm upset because what if I won't be able to build with Frank? You got Frank's number. You got Frank's number, and Frank has got your number. Please. So yeah, she did look very pretty. I think that she looked pretty during the National Mall too. So, but
I yeah, I feel at this point, I feel like she might be trying to make it as far as she can for her career. as far as getting more exposure and getting more attention around her name. And I'm like, she's so talented, beautiful, creative. Like, she don't need to do this or this show. I just, I don't know. I just feel like she was trying to get on here for her career, because I think that's why she's trying to force these connections or force something to be that it's just not going to be. So,
Yeah, it's just not going to be. And honestly, stop trying to argue with the actual conversation. She was really trying to argue with Walter, and that's not what he was there for. And I really appreciated Walter because Walter's like, the way you were acting, the cattiness at the piano was not called for. So,
mhm.
and she was like, "But you saw how you acted. You were just looking down. Listen, I've already had my time with you. Now I'm sitting here with Sabrina. Like, stop." And I agree though what you said earlier that I don't think this was her. This is not. Sometimes certain environments like this, being on camera and this reality show, and your mate is not there. It has a different effect on certain people. I just think you can build your career other ways. So yeah.
Right.
But I did like her nails. I think that her nails, I think they were like this white. She looked pretty. Oh Lord. Y'all, guys. I'm sorry. Zadia. Zadia.
um, yeah, I just didn't like the whole blaming, what is his name? Dante. Like, let's, like, that's just was so irritating to me about her and Camille this whole time. Is like there's never any accountability that we see. No, I didn't watch the most recent lives or any of that, but it just feels like there's just never really accountability. We all mess up. But when you say, like, for instance, with Camille and the country bumpkin, that whole conversation, well, I apologize, but then you continued the same sort of behavior. So that's my issue with the whole thing. Zadia, Zadia, yeah, no, her outfit was cute, but it's just your attitude is just so
Y'all,
trash.
the creative, and Josie said it earlier about this, about Zadia's wig, or about Moomin's wig. Stop. Stop it.
Y'all just be coming for her wigs. I'm like,
Oh my goodness. I'm sorry. Go ahead. Go ahead, Misha.
that's all. But we did see Naeem. That whole thing when Naeem sat down with nephew Tommy, I was like, this was so unnecessary. Just all I needed was the black screen, the white words. Naeem went home. That's all. I didn't really need to hear from Mr. Dry Eyes because it was just it was so unnecessary. It was a given. And I think they were trying to do this whole brown girl squad to form an alliance, and it's us against them, because that's what it came off as. But I feel like it got them sent home early. As soon as they started doing that, the other girls kind of teamed together, and eventually it got rid of them and their connections.
Yes. First of all, I do have to compliment her on something. That outfit was cute. The that wasn't, it was kind of cute. It was a cute little leather, but at the same time, it was cute. And then at the same time, I'm like, isn't it July? Good gracious. But it was actually a cute outfit.
That is a point to take into consideration. It is summer probably in DC, and it's very humid out there.
Right.
So
So, but her talking to Phil was kind of funny because I was looking for her to say, "Hey, I messed up. I shouldn't have done that. I was just in my feelings." Um, but I walked back and I kept, um, and I was just in my feelings. Something to say, I should apologize to him. I was angry, something, but she didn't give him any of that. She said I had to give him the black mama talking to. Um, and even Phil was like, I can't get behind that. Like you shouldn't have done that. And She didn't like him. She didn't like him checking her on that. Brown Girl Squad weren't small at all, weren't smart at all. They led with emotions and played themselves. Yes, all three of them did. In some kind of way, they all led with their emotions. Um, yeah, her whole conversations. And so he was like, we had a deliberation. So you guys all talked, and I'm not ready to love. Okay, just tell it to me. Like she was, and he said, "You not even gonna let me speak?" Yeah, it was just, mm-mm. So, but and Naeem leaving, he had a conversation with Tommy, and even Tommy was like, so it's so interesting because I actually think she liked Naeem. She put, what's his name? She put Dante on the back burner, but I think that she liked Naeem as a friend. That's what that's what it looked like to me at the pool.
No, I get the whole gosh, I just lost my whole train of thought. But kind of how Phil is with Shiloh, like he sees her as like kind of the wifey. That's how I kind of feel with her. Whereas she saw Naeem as kind of the husband material, but Dante is kind of the fun, the excitement, I guess. But I, yeah, that's how I saw it. I got a little bit of the like Zadia is Kyra, Naeem. Who would Naeem be?
He's not Jason. Naeem is not Jason.
Okay, so Dante would be who
Dante
is
you think Dante's Jason?
Dante kind of was playing Liz in the sense that he was the second option, but no, Dante is Jason because Kyra never expected Jason to make Liz number one. So
Okay.
Zadia was upset
Naeem, okay, good. Because Naeem,
because
but not
yeah,
Dante. Okay. Okay.
yes. So she's upset because Dante chose Aisha and not her. But it's kind of like we all knew Kyra she had no, what do you call it, intention of choosing anyone. She was just mad that Jason didn't pick her.
Sure.
So
Right. I'm gonna give you that. I agree with that. Yeah. And she was just like, so you all had to talk, and now you find that I'm not ready to love. Um, she was just attitudinal. She the whole time, and uh, I feel like nephew Tommy tried to talk to Naeem and say, okay, you've seen how she acts. You don't think this is a red flag?
mhm.
He said, yes, she's a habitual offender, but the truth is, even if she's a habitual offender, he hasn't made any connections with anyone else. That's the honest truth. He hasn't put the effort in with anyone
Yeah.
else. So he knew he couldn't go back on it.
Nephew Tommy was trying to talk some sense into him and like open his eyes because he could see he was under the Zadia spell.
Yes.
Because for him to sit in that deliberation and say, well, that doesn't concern me, that doesn't have anything to do with me. And so Nephew Tommy's like, you know that she told Dante that he was her number one, or something like that, or basically he let him know it couldn't have been possible for you to be Zadia's number one if she's acting this way towards Dante. So
Right.
I think he was trying to speak some sense into him. Was Naeem getting it? I don't think so.
And I also think that Naeem, this show is probably not for him either. He's a very quiet guy. He's a reserved guy. He does know how to rock an African garb because with this not overly not too much, like he knows how to do it. Yeah, I think so.
I caught that.
That was a full purple outfit. I did like the African garb. I like the top. I do feel like Naeem, he's a quiet, reserved guy, and this show's not necessarily for him. What did Mita say?
Not Uncle Nephew.
You see it. Wait, Uncle Nephew Tommy was trying to tell Naeem to wake up and smell the hot coffee. Yes, he was.
I really just think Naeem is just as immature as everyone else in that clique because it's just like I don't understand how you get into this clique and nobody does any wrong. Anytime they act out, anytime they overreact, oh no, that's because of this, or that doesn't have anything to do with me, blah blah. It's the lack of accountability for me. Like, my
To
goodness.
me, it's to making the excuses. To me, it's to making
Mhm.
justifying bad behavior. That's what justifying
Yes.
bad behavior, justifying Camille's bad behavior, justifying her bad behavior, Zadia, her bad behavior. The only person that didn't justify it was Walter. Did not justify Mumin. He didn't. He said, "Listen, the cattiness at the piano was not okay with me," and I appreciated Walter for saying that. So yeah. Mm. Yeah, thank you guys so much. Is that our last slide? We didn't get a slide of the purple suit. Naeem in the purple suit.
No, because all they had to do was throw that black screen up there and said Naeem was offered the chance to stay. He declined to pursue Zadia. That's all they had to do. Why we got to see you on the porch with Uncle Tommy?
Not a porch.
Like, what was the point?
That is hilarious. Yeah, I hear what you're saying though, because yeah, that looks like we didn't. We're glad to see Camille and Cornelius go. Yeah. Mm. We're still gonna give this commentary on what showed us exactly. Wow. Uncle nephew Tommy.
That part, because it's like, why every episode we got to see, well, you don't know. If you know, you know. And well, we don't know. We don't know anything, because all we're seeing is what we saw on the show, and that's what you're signing up for. That's what that was on the contract, that they're gonna they're gonna edit the scenes. All these shows, they go with whatever storyline, and they form your character based off that. Camille was the Black Widow.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what Zadia was supposed to be. I feel like she kind of created her own narrative in that sense. But no. But y'all, make sure you hit the like button. Please hit the like button. Make sure you are subscribed to both channels. Um, I'll be going live tomorrow to discuss some of these reality TV moments from Put a Ring on It with Don, what is that man's name? Alexia
Dorian.
and Dorian. We're going to be talking about Kristen Page. We're going to be talking about Ready to Love, different moments, but make sure you tune in tomorrow. Make sure you hit that reminder bell so y'all don't miss the live.
Oh, okay, I didn't know. Y'all, thank you guys so much. I really want to say Merry Christmas. They're not doing a show. RTL is not going to be on this week coming, but the next week. So we'll be back for I guess New Year's. Goodness. So
That's a lot.
Merry Christmas to everybody, and just thank you guys so much. I really, really, really need to say thank you to Miss Misha Allen. And a special shout out to Miss Eden, who's around there somewhere, because I'm just so thankful to meeting new friends, and just you guys just hold a special place in my heart. But Misha and I'm not gonna get all teary eyed, but I just really appreciate hanging out with you guys and just finding great friends. Over this social media craziness over the last 2 years and over just everything. So I just really want to thank you guys so much. This is not the end. There's going to be a lot coming from both of us. So please subscribe to Crystal Lynette on YouTube. And I'm actually doing my women's panel in about 45 minutes at 7:30. I got some great ladies coming on the panel. Misha will be, she's not joining tonight, but she will be joining in the future. So, because I love her commentary, and she makes me and she makes us laugh. So, but And the men's panel is coming back. I'm giving them a break. Gonna give some women's panel, then coming back with my own stuff too. Thank you guys. Okay,
Yes, happy holidays, Merry Christmas. CMK will be off or on hiatus. I don't know, on vacation, on holiday. I don't know what you want to call it, but we will not be having a show. Or are you in?
No, I was gonna say me, Kia and I
You
might
and
come on.
Kirsten.
You know what?
Okay.
Kia and I might come on. Misha, I can't because she got a whole child, she got a whole
It
baby, and
won't be Friday, but they might
right.
do Thursday. So
We're gonna probably
stay
do
tuned.
Thursday. Yeah, stay tuned. But so and we might just do free talk and just hang out with y'all. CMK. I still am dedicated to this after dark, but CMK Ladies Lounge. Go ahead, Misha.
That's it. That's all I have. Happy holidays. Merry Christmas. And yeah.
Thank y'all. Good night.
Thank y'all.